let's say Paradise was in prison, and they wanted to test like HIV and stuff, and then they were like, oh, can I test you? Because in prison the rate is really high, especially in a male prison.
Okay.
So like, if they wanted to test a man or a female for HIV in prison, then honestly they should ask before and not just like lie or something. But at the same time, they shouldn't. They really shouldn't just because they're in prison. Because they should do it to anyone else because we're all equal. Just because they're in prison doesn't mean anything different.
Okay, I like that.
What was that basketball player that had like AIDS or something? And
Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson. Yeah.
Because like he took like a, what is it, like pills or something? Like shots he has to take all the time. And like he's using that, and now like other people are gonna use it. Like if they ever get AIDS or something, and they have the money for it. But honestly, I don't think they should pay for that because they're dying.
Yeah.
And I don't really think that doctors want to be responsible of deaths. So.
I like your point. That's a good point. All right, so branching off Magic Johnson, I like that point that was brought up. So this man, his private life, he had AIDS, was broadcasted across the world. He could no longer play basketball. What do you guys think about like how in the movie Gattaca, how they could take a sample of Vincent's blood and use it as a way to determine if he was fit for the job? What do you guys think about that? For some other people besides. Remember, you all want to talk. So what do you think about the DNA sequencing that they did for Vincent and Jerome?
He did end up going up into space.
He did, but that was...
That wasn't right. Like the way they had to keep testing them. Like they were animals.
The way he had to fight... I'm sorry, Curtis.
Oh, no.
The way he had to fight for it wasn't good.
Yeah, right?
It wasn't at all.
I think that was...
Especially since he was a degenerate born, so like he was born out of random out.
So what do you think, Leanne? Why do you think that was disgusting?
I don't know, because they were just taking blood and samples and stuff and DNA. Like, I just thought that was disgusting.
It's a violation of privacy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially since they make you do it all the time. So like, if someone passes out due to like not enough blood,
We're all equal. I mean, it's just like with like, for an example, like when they didn't accept gays.
Yeah.
The special forces, like if you need more people, then why not just take them? Just because they're gay doesn't make them different. Doesn't make them like, excuse my language, doesn't make them a bitch about it. It's just like.
All right, I like that point.
We're all the same people.
Valid point.
I don't understand. People just can't get that through their head. They have to be so ignorant. Like everyone should be like fair.
We're all the same, right?
We all should be fairly equal.
But the article we just read where they talked about hermaphrodites. So does everyone know what a hermaphrodite is?
Yes, it's when you're born with both.
Yes, so it's a woman who's born with male and female parts. Typically, someone who's a hermaphrodite has more of one of the other. So I don't know if you know Sierra, the singer.
No, miss, she's not a hermaphrodite.
She's hermaphrodite. She's a hermaphrodite. So she was born with women parts and male parts as well.
She has a baby now.
She does. So she had more women parts.
she's probably asexual.
Or does anyone know who Jamie Lee Curtis is?
Yeah.
From Freaky Friday, the mom. She was a hermaphrodite as well. She was born a hermaphrodite as well. She can't have children. So that's very personal. Do you know what I mean? And that's something that you can't, like, if you would look at Sierra or you look at Jamie Lee Curtis, you would never think that either of them were hermaphrodites, right?
Bow Wow told us.
Okay. The side of Bow Wow, I told you. That's something that's really personal. So DNA sequencing is also something that gets into people's personal lives. About how this affected the characters, like, was this a violation of their privacy, or did you feel bad for Vincent because?
I feel bad for him.
Did you think it was wrong or right?
Wrong. Because they should let people like do what they want, regardless if they have like a heart defect or something.
Yeah.
So they should give everybody a chance to do what they want to do. Because I thought the movie was nasty.
You thought it was nasty?
Yeah, because like, how are you supposed to fake someone that you're not? I mean, like, take someone else's DNA and samples and hair. Like, I just thought it was nasty, and this movie got me so mad. It's supposed to like, I wouldn't want to be someone else. I'd rather be myself.
Let's think about someday, hopefully in the very far future, you might all be parents. If the way science is advancing, hopefully someday in the far future, the way science is advancing, you guys all have the opportunity, maybe at some point, to make this designer baby or this perfect baby. Would you take that opportunity if you could, or would you have your baby be like Vincent by chance? Someone I haven't really heard from yet. What? Agnes, what do you think about this?
Like by chance, I guess. I won't be surprised.
You want to be surprised? Okay. Curtis, what do you think? You were real passionate about this yesterday.
Oh, I don't like it.
You don't like it? Why?
Because, like, you shouldn't design your baby because you should already know what traits it's gonna have from like your partner. And then like when you guys have a baby, they'll have both of you guys, and you won't just have like everything perfect because they won't have the best life because they have to live up to the perfect expectations.
So you're saying you should love your baby no matter who it is,
Yeah.
what happens? Yes, Brian?
Like, if you want to know what the baby has and you don't want it because it's wrong, then you shouldn't have the baby at all if it's going to have something wrong with it.
Okay, so you think as a parent you should be prepared for everything. Alright, I like that. That makes sense.
Always be prepared.
You grow to like accept your traits, like the ones that you don't like, you grow to accept them and you live with it.
Either way, you have to accept who you are and what you really look like.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
There's a lot of people who deal with insecurities, but everybody's beautiful now. So.
I like that.
Yeah. Like,
That was deep.
That was deep. This has proved that although situations like Vincent, like he was supposed to die, a lot of people, it's the human willpower that are able to make through like situations. So I'm sure you've all been faced with troubling situations in your life, and people have said, things that, it's going to be hard for you to get through this, and you did. You overcame your hardships that you had to go through, right? So Vincent kind of did this. He, 10,000 beats, Gabriel?
yeah, he was to when she found out, and then basically she was just like him.
Mhm.
She was a degenerate born. He told her that like the reason he did it was because he wanted to go into space, and he overcame his disease, and he said he was 10,000 beats overdue.
Okay, so like I was saying, you all overcome things in your life. Vincent was able to fight against the odds and live way longer than they thought he would be. So how do you guys feel about that? Do you think that it's fair that they can look at someone and just determine, like, this is your life, this is what your life will look like, when, we're all owners of our own lives. We can all act on our own free will.
If that was to really happen to us, like, a lot of people won't be happy in this world because, like, not everyone can make us perfect, Like, I don't think people should choose, like, how we turn out to be or anything like that. Like, we should all just be accepted just for who we are and who we turn out.
I like that. What do you think?
Like, a dream isn't a dream until you make it a reality. So, he wanted to be an astronaut, but knowing that the risk of him being arrested and put in jail, like, for faking someone's identity, like, and then he actually got to do what he wanted to, you have to have, like, courage and bravery to do that, knowing that you'll be in trouble with the law.
They need to get out of their shell.
Get out of their shell.
They need to grow up and like, okay, I can do this. It's gonna be hard, but I can do this. So they have to grow up.
I think like that.
So there's a saying, and it goes, you never know how much you can accomplish until you're forced to struggle. How do you think this relates to school, your own lives, GATTACA? What do you think? How do you think that's represented?
Because when you struggle, you want to strive. When you strive, you do anything to get what you want. So just like that's how you can know like what you're capable of because you're trying.
Basically, if you're struggling, it's like what you're saying. If you're struggling, you're basically trying.
Strive is to lead to accomplish is impossible.
What was that? Say that again, Grubo.
To strive is to lead, and to accomplish is to prosper.
It's deep.
Basically, they gotta prove people wrong what they think of you.
Yeah.
Like, if someone doubts you, they
It's
put you
scars
down.
of darkness.
And that's the strive when people doubt you the most. Like when people tell you that you're dumb, you can't do something, and you just gotta put your mind to it and like boom, in your face.
Does that fuel you? Does that make you want to work harder?
There's no stars without darkness.
Pete Gabriel whipping out those philosophers.
Oh, you be reading in the nighttime.
It's true though, when you look up at the sky, you see stars, but it's all dark.
Oh,
It's
boy.
like someone puts you
Oh
down.
my god.
So again about the GATTACA. So let's look at Jerome. So although Jerome ended up in a wheelchair due to like
Yeah, I don't want to have my child be like perfect. I want him to go through what I go through,
why do you want to do that?
so he knows.
So he knows what life's all about?
Yeah.
No, I don't think you should push your child to be like if you didn't have the best life, you should want your child to have better.
Like maybe you
wanting your child to face difficult obstacles in life so you can accomplish in the future, but you shouldn't have your own child.
Not like if everything gets handed to him like in the real world,
Yeah.
you can't.
Yeah,
And
but
it's
like
gonna work for it.
But
Well, like, you know what I'm trying to say.
But you trust him.
You can't have your child
They
live the
see
life
the
that you
world
live.
by their own eyes and by their own eyes.
You know?
So Anthony, I like the point you just made about being handed to them. So someone like Vincent had to work really hard to get where he was in life, but someone like Jerome, before his accident, or his brother Anton, were handed things. So what do you think being handed things in life due to like DNA testing would like happen? What would happen to that person?
It's like spoiling somebody or babying them. They like, what happens when everything stops getting handed to you and you have to go out and reach for it or something like that.
Okay.
They're not used to it, so they can't do it on their own.
Yeah, they weren't given those skills to
Yeah.
do what.
We're given the skills to strive.
Yeah.
But over here, what do you think? Do you think, what about Vincent and Anton? Anton being handed things and Vincent having handed
I
things?
think the one who got handed things didn't have that much experience with them, so he didn't really care what would happen to him because he knew everything was going to be good for him. Like his outcome would be perfect.
Okay, I like that. JC made a good point. She said that he might not, so Anton might not value the things he does earn as much as Vincent might have.
Yeah.
So think back to your own personal situations. Have you guys ever had to work really hard for something?
Yes.
And it felt a lot better to get that after you worked really hard for it than to have someone just give it to you. I mean, it feels great to have someone just give things to you also, but didn't you feel more accomplishment, more sense of like, I did it?
Yes.
Instead of taking the easy way out.
Instead of taking the easy way out, okay. So how would you, obviously we probably can't pick if our children be perfect, but how as you as parents would instill these kind of values into your child someday in the far future if you ever have parents? How would you instill these values to work hard into your kids?
Like treat them kind of how my parents taught me, like how they treated me. Cause if I woke up in the morning and I wanted cereal, if I was old enough, I would make my own cereal. Or like when I got old enough, I did my own laundry because my mother taught me how to do those things. So she didn't just do everything for me.
I like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't like I'll use the same like things my mom did, but like I wouldn't do a lot of the things that she did. You know what I mean? Because I don't want my child growing up with like what I have to go through.
Yeah, I think we all can attest to that our parents did a lot of great things, but sometimes being a parent's hard, so our parents probably did some not so great things too. That's why you guys are the future generation. We gotta make better kids, make better decisions.
Don't take this all the time. I don't want you to live the life I want to live. I want you to live your own life.
My mom tells me all the time she doesn't want me to live the life that she lived, so that's why like she raised me this way.
You're young and you have every opportunity.
Don't be a father, be a leader. That's what dad to be as a leader.
That's so cute. So anybody can, or ever heard the saying like anyone can be a father? It takes a great person to be a dad.
Yeah.
Like you can have
It's
a
true.
kid, but if you don't know how to like,
I got a kid right now.
be an example, you're not really a father. Like if you ever like become a dad someday, you would want to do something that you like, oh yeah, I did that. See, or the kid would say, oh yeah, that's my dad. You know, he did this and this and that. You know, you would want someone like that.
Yeah, you can become a father, but it takes a man to raise a baby.
Yeah.
Facts.
All right.